Okay, Virginia, the Commonwealth of Virginia is a self-insured plan with multiple providers. How many of you are self-insured plans? Raise your hand. How many of you have multiple providers? If you have multiple providers, there's some other things we need to talk about. Since we do have some, I'll mention it today. I want to go to our website, which was up here, which will be provided in your deck. And I give you this because sometimes I can't always find my paper when I get back from a conference, but I know it where I can go find it and pull it up online. So that's what I want for you today. This is our website. Under the reports tab here, right here, third from the bottom, we have a lot of information available. We have an annual report on our healthcare. It's available for many years. So if you want to go see some detail on data on a healthcare plan with about 250,000 members, that'll give you some idea. We will give you our top 5 drivers, our top 10 list for drugs, for conditions, for everything, and where our spend is. We use data all the time. I don't know if you've heard, but Virginia has had some financial difficulty. And one of the places that we go look is the health care plan, because it's risen to about a $1.2 billion a year plan. So we take looking at the plan, we care very much about the health of our employees. We want them to be productive while they're at work, and we are very much into wellness. So we want people to do the things that take care of them. So we want to give them good quality at a good cost. And this year we've gone out with an RFP. So I want you to click to vendors, John, if you could. And our RFP is online. Lengthy, but our RFP is online, and we're transparent. We're showing it to everybody. And if you click RFPs, and we have 2 RFPs here, 03 and 02. They're for the traditional PPO, but we also put out a consumer driven health plan, a consumer plan, where they'll have more skin in the game. And because of that, we're going to have more tools. And we've got all these tools out here, but I want it to be convenient. I want it to be simple. I want it to be easy to use for our consumers. It's great if they got to go to a zillion websites. They are not doing it. So simple, 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 but everything integrated, one-stop shop. We're in procurement as we speak, so I'm not going to go into a lot of detail there. But we had at least 15 submissions here, so we have competition, and we like competition. So we do have competition on both of these contracts. One of the things that we're looking at is not only how convenient or how good is the quality of the data that we can give them, particularly I'm going to speak to the consumer-driven side right now, but we're really looking at total population health, giving tools to employees, and pushing this with the vendor. Integrate, make it easy, point and click, and have them accountable. Now, we're going to give incentives. How many of you have a consumer-driven plan already? All right, well, we're really moving very much into that. But one of the things, I used to be general counsel at Signet Bank. We spun off Capital One credit card, so I have a credit card background, and I keep seeing a stripe on the back of a member's card. Why can't you just take that card and swipe it when you go to the doctors if you already know what the cost of care is? Why can't they pay there? Why do we have this lag time in payment? So I hear about all of these kinds of things. So we're having these conversations at the table about how can we make it more convenient, the EOBs, that employees have no clue what it means. How can we make all of this better and more transparent, easily understandable, that everybody gets it? And then we're working with the docs and the hospitals. One of the things that's really exciting, I said we had financial challenges. Well, we were looking, oh my God, everyone's got to come up with 5, 10, 15% cuts across the board. I've got to come up with savings. What am I going to pick? So much of it's mandated, what am I going to pick? So you know what we do? We go to our data, because we have a lot of data. We go pull on it and look for results. And an example that we have out here that if you go to our annual report, you'll see a write-up on it, is bariatric surgery. We found that we were on trend in 2009 to hit $12 million a year in bariatric surgery. We had, in my office, 3 people that have had it. And 2 years later, they were obese again. And I'm saying, what are we paying for? So we did a deep dive in bariatric surgery, and we found in a voluntary condition, there was a 25% complication rate. I had 2 deaths, and I had multiple $1 million claims. Something's wrong with that picture. So we said, we're not going to cover this anymore. We put it on the list. We send a menu to the governor. Governor reviews it. They pick what they want to cut, and that one was selected. Oh my goodness, you should have heard the bariatric surgeons. Oh my God, every patient they ever had wrote to their legislator and lobbied us. So we had a negotiated settlement. We said, okay, we'll cover it, but we're going to change the way that we pay for this. So we require our employees to have a 1-year health coach opportunity assigned to them. They have to be in a Weight Watcher type program, and they have to do all, certain things, and then we will waive their copay for their surgery if they do all the do-right things. We have so many people that have lost weight on their own, they're not getting surgery, and so instead of paying $12 million, we now pay $1.5 million. And people have learned the difference, and they're healthier. And the reason we picked a year, I go to the bariatric surgeons annual meeting on Sunday morning in the last 2 years, and I was told, oh my God, they're a hostile group, but they were told to be civil. Well, they all thought we did it just based on cost. They had no idea that we did the deep dive on the data. But I didn't come in with the data on the docs, which I had. I went and showed data by hospital. And everybody knew who practiced at what, but there were usually more than one doc at each hospital, right? So they went, oh my God, look at this complication rate. They had never, they really, as individual practitioners, had never seen it. They said, you're looking at this data? I said, yes, we are. And then I had one doc that was particularly not happy, and because we were most of his practice, because we represented 11 to 15% each year of all bariatric surgery done in the Commonwealth. And it really took a hit to their pocketbook in that 1-year transition plan, which we appreciated the issues here, but we hoped that they would work with us to get a better result. And they did, and this one guy said, it's only cost, it's only cost. So we went through this program, and we showed them what the results were, and they said, but you didn't do it on 3 to 6 months, and that's what all the literature says. I said, I know, I've read all the literature everybody sent me, and I mean, it's so much published on obesity surgery. So we did that, and I said, the reason we picked 12 months is because we have a focus group of 25 employees that have had the surgery, and that's what they told us we should do, and we listened to our employees. And so they couldn't believe, I mean, you listened to your employees? Certainly we did. So we did 1 year, and that has worked out great for us. But we found in one little town, we had 5 people sign up for this surgery. It turned out 4 of them were hoarders. One of them had 4 refrigerators in their garage. Now, if you think just doing surgery without the health coach and without all this other work is going to help, these are wonderful examples, and I think just having that opportunity with the docs was very helpful because they were not happy campers. But when I left, they were cool, and last meeting, we agreed to partner with them, so here's our little olive branch. We're partnering with them so that they can write up with us the results of our bariatric surgery. So we're having academics write up the data, and hopefully it'll be published. And it's a pilot. So maybe it works, maybe it doesn't, but we will never know unless we try. So we're doing all these things, but we wouldn't have ever done it without the data. And the data was absolutely key for us to get in and use this. Now, as it relates to the all payers claim database, when you get the wonderful opportunity to partner with all these people in the summertime going through all the nitty-gritty, if you're, and I know some of you are multiple vendor insurance self-insured, we're going to have to get some legislative change, because one of the issues that irritated me was if it's my data and I just want to use you as a warehouse, dump the data in and then pull it all out integrated, because we have separate contracts for medical, surgical, behavioral health, dental, pharma. They're all separate contracts. It was just a nice warehouse, dump it in. The state, we wanted to give the state our data because we have a lot of data. We wanted to participate and make sure that they had as much information as possible. It supports a governor's initiative, and it supports the health commissioner's initiative in getting all of that done, and we thought it was the right thing to do. So we want to get the data in, but we constantly are looking at this, but I couldn't get my data out without getting permission from our third-party administrator. And I keep saying, but it's our data. I want to get my own data out. Well, I can't in the way the law is currently written. So I hope those of you that have multiple vendors will join me in making sure that we get that cleaned up in this session so that I can get my own data back without getting somebody to give me, with my third-party agent, giving me permission to get my own data back. So one of the things we did in our contract, and if John, if you would hit the next button, please. These are our two contracts. We're going to go show you the magic words we put in our RFP, which will be in our contract, and I want you to be able to find it so that you can see, if you're a self-employed, that you go find and make sure you put this in your contracts or words, magic words like this. You get the concept. In 2.5.17, there we go. The Commonwealth of Virginia enacted legislation in April 2012, which created the Virginia All-Payer Claims Database. This is in development. However, once the requirements are promulgated, the contractor is expected to submit claims in the specific format and at the specific frequency that the contractor, the contractor agrees to submit what we ask them to do. And then we get clear in other sections in this data that it is our data. Not their data, it is our data. And they are an agent for us. So just in the legal nitty-gritty, just make sure that when you go out for an RFP that in fact you've got language in there that clarifies that everyone's going to do what you ask. And then if the employers can help drive, this is voluntary, folks. So what's going to make this happen? How are we going to get this to go? We got to do it. So we all have to step up, put it in our contracts. If people won't do it voluntarily, and you may get them not too happy to do it, but you know what? If the client wants it, you got to ask for it. And if you have a hard time, put it in your contract, amend your contract, put it in there, and we'll get the data, and we'll get you a fully loaded database. And the data, you know, it's only good as the data that's in it. And I think the better it will be if we get everybody to play. So my message here today is to please participate. And the employers across the Commonwealth that I've worked with are very interested in it. One way to fix it is by contract and by negotiation. And I just wanted to give you an example today of how we have actually used it and what a difference it makes for us. And we're short of time, so we're going to cut it off right there. Why don't you have our website information, go look at the contract and the annual reports, you see the kind of data. And if you got suggestions on what to include that we don't, you send them to me and we'll make sure we get it up there. Thanks for having us today.